back to Geek Out of Say. We're back. It's Friday, and we're having fun.
And now we're back from outer space.
I don't know about that.
No.
So I don't know. Not a whole ton of stuff happened in the geek world. Well, you know they have the Killer Instinct Con going on this weekend.
There's
Started
a Killer
today.
Instinct
It's
Con?
KI Con. It's happening at the Tobin Center here in San Antonio.
I never even heard of it before.
Yeah.
Like, isn't Killer Instinct a video game?
Yeah.
So it's a
Now
whole
they have
con.
tournament. This is the tournaments.
It's just a whole con around this one video game.
Yeah, you can win like a ton of money if you win.
Hey everybody, we're about to start in a few minutes. I have to update.
Yeah, I gotta post that. But yeah, no, it's Killer Instinct.
I'm sorry, somebody
Have you
said
played it? I originally played
Killer
that.
Instinct was which one? I remember it's a video game. It's Mortal
a fighting
Kombat-ish.
game. Yeah.
Right?
They have like Glacius or something like that. Do you remember that, Zach? It used to be on the Nintendo 64.
Did they do like several versions of it, or it kind of died out?
I think they did like two.
2 in gold.
So that's going on here in town right now. So I think the tickets are like $25 to get in to check that out.
Is it just today?
No, it's all weekend.
And then you just play Killer Instinct the whole time and like cosplay and see vendors or whatever.
I guess. I don't know. I've never been there.
I don't know. I never even heard of it, so.
Hey, hi, Hoodie. He says, there you are.
Hi, Hoodie. We were a little late because Vince was updating things again. This time it wasn't my fault.
It wasn't my
Whatever,
fault.
it was totally your fault. Last week it was my fault. I owned it. Now this week it's your fault. So you gotta own it. Own it!
Not my fault.
Totes your fault. Like, you are the tech guy. You should definitely be checking tech like an hour before the show starts.
Well, the way it's going now, I have to do it at the last minute, so I'm not broadcasting for like 30 minutes. This time I
because
was
you're
only
doing
on-
it simultaneously on
Yeah, I'm doing
Twitch
it on
and
all of
YouTube.
them.
And what's this
Yeah.
hitbox thing? So explain the hitbox to me, because I don't even know what that is. You just said it today, and I didn't know we were on it.
It's just another streaming service like YouTube or Twitch.
But like you get it
Where
on
they
your
stream, like, games
gaming
or
console or
stuff.
something?
Huh?
You get it on your game console?
No.
No.
It's like YouTube
But where? Where do you get it?
on the internet.
You just go to the
Like
magic.
YouTube.
You go to the magic interwebs and it's there. I gotta look now. 'Cause
Yeah.
Now I want to know.
Hitbox.tv. We're on Hitbox. We're on Twitch. We're on YouTube. All right now.
Now we just need to be on Netflix and we'll be good to go, because that's the place to be. Like
So-
next Netflix is it.
We are going to be talking about Logan and talk about how we like that. And
Are we gonna
different
like
things.
talk about Logan? Or are we gonna talk about Logan like we always have to talk about things?
you know, you were talking to me about it, and we kind of do. Oh, we're going to do a spoiler-free review of such and such, and then we never talk about the movie again
Yeah.
because we have to move on to new stuff. So I think we're going to talk a little more this time about that.
Okay, I would like
what's
to,
happening.
because I want to talk about some things, and I'm down for like being spoiler free and all, but it gets old to try to talk about these things and go, well, there was this part, but then I can't really tell you about that part, but it was a really good part, and you should go see that part. And then so I'm not really saying anything about anything, so I don't know, kind of like, I don't know.
So if you're watching us right now, you can chat with us and we will answer you and talk to you. We have somebody already on the YouTube chat talking to us. But we will get stuff from Hitbox and we'll get stuff from Twitch. And we can all answer it right here. No spoilers. No spoilers. Yeah, we're going to do it.
Yeah, we're going to do spoilers, so if you don't want to hear it, you should probably
We'll tell you before.
close your ears. We'll let you know.
We'll give you like a hand signal after you go la 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 la. So.
So what are we going to talk about? Well, we didn't get to talk about.
Well, what I wanted to do was, because we kind of missed it last week, and I wanted to talk about it this week, is about embracing other fandoms that you don't necessarily are a part of right now.
Oh yeah, we kind of had gotten on that, and we were going to talk about that a little bit, because it's kind of something that still comes up fairly often.
It does. It does, and that's why we're here. To sometimes it comes up negatively, and that's why we're here to kind of, we can be one big family and enjoy different aspects of the different fandoms that we have in the geek community. So, that's what I'm all about. That's why we made this show.
I'm all about that. I definitely see it, I think, more often than you see it, just because I work in, I work in the school, so I see it, but I don't see it as much. This is what's interesting. I don't see it quite as much with the kids nowadays as I did with when we were kids. And now that all of the adults who were kids with us when we were kids are kind of these negative naysayers that are putting down the other fandoms. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, we kind of grew up in this culture where it wasn't okay to be a geek, or it wasn't okay to be a nerd, or it wasn't okay to like, Star Trek or Star Wars or anime or whatever. We kind of grew up in that. And now
tabletop gaming.
Especially that. Like, I've told a million times on the show the stories of like my mom not wanting me to play the devil's game, no D&D and stuff. And so the kids have so much more exposure today, which is kind of a double-edged sword, right? Mm-hmm. I feel like they are losing some of that socialization that we had, some of that sense of like getting out there and having to find things out and how things happen. I feel like they're losing out on a lot of that. But it has also made the world and everything in it kind of so small that they have this exposure to stuff, and they see like celebrities that like these things, or other kids and stuff, or there's Instagram pages, or there's Snapchat groups, or there, whatever. So they see all of these people doing these things, so it becomes okay, So it's not the same as when we were kids, because we didn't have this exposure. So the people that you saw that were playing tabletop games may have only been like the couple of like smelly weirdos or whatever, stereotyping. That's totally not how they were, but that's how it was stereotyped back when we were growing up.
Yeah.
Or, the people that liked video games, all the kids that played outside and stuff, they were, making fun of them, and,
Yeah, because surprisingly, even with the tabletop community, has got a really bad rap, but there's stars that play D&D. Mm-hmm. Like, today, right now, still play D&D.
Well, and it's interesting how and I don't even know if people realize that within these fandoms, there are even subsects of fandoms, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like in tabletop gaming, for an example, since we do a lot of that, it's like you have the role players who do the D&D and stuff.
Yeah, and then you have the minis players that play miniatures.
Mm-hmm. And then you have like the guys or girls that like card games, like tradables, like Magic and stuff.
And then you can even go even further into that. Just, I only play Magic, or I only play Yu-Gi-Oh.
Uh-huh. So there is still a lot of that, like, especially I see it in the tabletop world, mm-hmm. where it's a lot of that, like, I only play this game, this is all I'm going to play, I don't want to try it, I don't like it, kind of mindset. And then a lot of, like, I hear a lot of people that are supposed to be uplifting the community, and they're like, well, we have these events, but, like, the Magic players aren't allowed to come, because you know how the Magic players are. Well, you can't lump everybody together. You just can't. Like, are there certain subcultures and group dynamics that you have? Yes, there are. Mm-hmm. But you can't, I don't feel like you should just be lumping everybody together and saying, like, you can't invite this group, or you can't invite that group, or I don't want to go try to hang out with this group, or I don't want to go try to hang out with that group. I mean, if they're being like negative and abusive or something, that's different.
Mm-hmm. I think a lot of, because I've heard a lot of things like, oh, I hate anime. And when I was a kid, I didn't really watch anime. So I didn't really know anything about it. I had a friend of mine introduce me to, oh, check this out. This is Vampire Hunter D. Take a look at that. You'll probably enjoy it. And I did. And slowly but surely, I started looking at stuff back then, and then I stopped. And then life kicked in, and then I started doing other stuff. And then we do so much, so. And then I stopped watching anime. And
but it's not like you have a problem like when your friends invite you.
No.
Like we were invited when we had the guys on for anime at the Alamo. We had the guys on. They came on the show and stuff, and they were like, "You guys should come out." And we were like, "Okay." And they were like, "You should come because we're having like probably the most perfect anime for you guys, right? To come out because they know we're predominantly gamers, right? And it's No Game No Life." So we were like, okay, cool. Like, we'll go check it out.
It's a really cool
Oh my God, we so loved it. Like, we loved it. It was so much fun.
It's really funny.
No Game No Life is hilarious. It's so wrong, but so funny.
Sexual tension between the brother and sisters.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird, but
it's like so
from
wrong,
what I hear,
but like
that's
funny.
a lot of stuff that happens in anime, and it's just a different culture.
But it's funny, like you just like to
With
us, we think it's funny and we just kind of laugh at it and whatever. And then our friends were there and we had a good time with them and we ate popcorn and watched anime and it was funny and we liked it, And so then people tell us every once in a while, oh, you should go check this one out on Netflix or that one out on Netflix. And so we do, and we'll go check them out on Netflix when we have time. Or then like our friend came over the other day, popped in for the weekend, and he was like, hey, I have this new card game. It's a deck builder. I really like deck builders. I'm really into deck builders. It has some really interesting mechanics. It's AEG game called Mystic Veil.
It was a really cool game. I really enjoyed it.
Really cool. So I was like, okay, why not? He has it. Let's try it, And then like we were talking to his wife and everything, and then we were like, oh yeah, sometimes I just like to play Mexican train dominoes, just playing dominoes. And a lot of gamers would be like I see gamers throwing away Monopoly all the time.
That I think is not cool.
Like as if it doesn't have any merit, but it does because it was a foothold into the mainstream, like getting games into the stores. It's a foothold, and you're going around and around in a board and you're buying properties, and it's like not the most imaginative gameplay or whatever. But it's like a kind of a gateway game,
Yeah.
People play it, they get used to it, families understand the rules, it's simple, and then you get them used to that, and then you can build them up. So there's always these opportunities, I think. I know, like, then there's like all the cosplayers, right? And then it's like, okay, well, the realistic cosplayers don't want the cosplayers that are like overweight or whatever. Or some of them don't like the cosplayers that do like mashup cosplays. They want it to be like a purist. And God heaven forbid, everybody hates the poor furries. Which I think their costumes are super adorable. Like, I don't get some of the other undertones of the culture.
Deadpool.
Everybody hates Deadpool. So Deadpool is an annoying character in general. He's annoying, right? So when these people act him out, they're doing it because they probably have all these annoying things like pent up inside of them, and they just want to act like a-holes and idiots with a mask on. And then they can just get all this crud out. Like, it seems like that's what Deadpool... I mean, you just saw the Deadpool trailer where he's like Supermaning like in the phone booth, and it takes him so long to put on his stuff that the guy dies, It's like... Deadpool's a jerk. He is. And he lays on the dead guy and is like chatting with him and eating his ice cream. Like... Deadpool's a jerk. That's just what he is, right? So when people go into that persona...
Garcia, right? He was eating Cherry Garcia.
When people go into that persona, are they annoying? Yes, they're totally annoying. And there's probably
Geeky
like
Hoodie
way
says,
too many.
I'm planning on a Joker pool cosplay.
Joker pool?
Yeah.
I think that would be cool. Yeah.
I wonder how you would do that.
There's a lot of mashups. Somebody's asking me, what's the best place to go to chat? Twitch or...
You can go to Twitch. You can go to YouTube. You can go to Hitbox. Either one of those, you can go to the live chat and then chat with us, and we'll talk to you. Who's trying to talk to us?
Russell.
Oh.
So do sometimes even I get agitated with the Deadpool cosplayers? Yeah, of course, right? You can't like love everybody all the time, right? That's not what I expect. That's not totally not what I'm asking, but I think what I'm trying to get at, what my bottom line is don't exclude them because of their fandom, and don't, as soon as you hear their fandom, go, ew, oh, that's stupid, that's lame, I don't like it. I hate that. I hate that instantaneous reaction.
Or just like furries. Boom. No.
No.
No. There's some that are into it as a fetish, but there's some that are into it just because they enjoy wearing the costume.
They're cute, adorable little costumes. I love that dude here in San Antonio who walks around and he's like the wolf, but he's in like the white suit.
Oh, yeah.
He's real slick, and he's got this real slick persona, like walking around, and he takes pictures, and he's very nice. I've never seen him without the costume. I don't even know who he is or what he looks like, but I think he's intriguing. And then some of the other little ones, you know, the pink and purple furries, and they're like hopping around. I don't know. I think it's cute. Like, they're liking what they like. They're not like really hurting you. Like, if you're not into it, they're not like. Yes, in some of the geeky situations, because a lot of us geeks have like really horrible social skills. Let's just be super honest. We do. Sometimes they get in your space a little too much.
Some of us do, and then some of us don't. It depends on the geek.
Most of us do. Most of us, I think, have something or another.
There's always exceptions to the rule.
Are you trying to say it's you?
Huh?
Are you trying to say that it's you, that
No,
you're
I'm
not
just-
socially awkward? Yes.
I'm not.
You're not, Zach?
No.
You are, too.
Hell no.
You tell too many stories
That are awesome.
that are highly inflated.
They're awesome stories.
And Dad sometimes just sits there and stares at people.
That's because he's suave.
He's suave.
Takes his time telling stories. Yeah. See, there it is.
Suave.
No, that wasn't cute. No, that was pretty cute. I'm not gonna lie.
So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've been in the geek world for a long time, a really long time.
Same. Ditto.
Um,
And I have seen friends get really abused, like verbally, like really torn down, really hurt by people because of basically their hobby. I mean,
E Hoodie says he's not socially awkward.
Oh, okay, Hoodie.
He says I'm just weird.
You know, and it's not okay to tear somebody down. And, you know, we're very complex human beings, just like anybody else. Like, yes, are some of us very fixated on some of our fandoms? Yes, totally. But most of the time, like, we go to jobs and we have families and we leave lives and we go on vacations and we see the world, you know, and we like our fandom, you know?
Oh, and Russell, if you're looking on how to get to YouTube to be able to chat with us, on the lower right side, I think there's like a YouTube image. And if you click on that YouTube image on our website, it'll take you to the YouTube page.
Take you down to
and then you
Paradise
can
City.
Talk with us there. Because, you know, I gotta take off Chitango because we don't really use Chitango anymore. It's not as easy to
It's not
use.
an easy use, and people don't really use it. So, but I don't know. I think that people should I would like to see more people giving more fandoms a chance. Are you gonna love every single one of them? No, of course not. Right? There's no way. You're not gonna love every single one of them. But give them a chance and give them the benefit of the doubt and give them the space and give them the, you know.
I think not necessarily. You may be put off by certain types of people, but there's other people in that fandom that aren't like that.
Yeah.
And the best thing about embracing other fandom is just go and check it out. If you're not into video games, but you hear this is a really cool video game, because even with tabletop players, those video game people, forget it. They're making a lot of video games now that are like tabletop games.
Mm-hmm.
And they're people that like tabletop games, that have built these, that have programmed these new
well, and the
these new
video game,
games.
the video game RPG has been a thing for years and years and years and years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so there's definitely like with Diablo and oh, help me out, Zach. I'm terrible.
Path of Exile is a new one. Well, that's getting revamped. It's really good.
You know what I saw? They were going to take that silly Steven Universe cartoon and turn it into an RPG style video game.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
That's really lame.
I've never seen Steven Universe, but I know your younger brother Nick really likes Steven Universe, so I don't think I've ever even seen an episode.
It has a fantastic story that's not just for children. It's got a lot of good values, especially in like the LGBT community and like just accepting others. So it's kind of like a My Little Pony kind of.
Oh, really?
Where it's got good values in it as well.
Maybe I have to sit down and binge watch some of that one of these days and see if I like that.
Coming
And
out
then on
music.
the other side is Rick and Morty,
And I still
where it
haven't
doesn't
seen.
have good children values.
I haven't seen that one either, but I hear grown-ups tell me that they think that it's hilarious, but it's totally like.
It's got good values in it too, as well. I think it's about trusting family, understanding like the troubles that people go through without just initially realizing it on their face. Like you have to dig deep to find these issues.
But they do kind
Hoodie
of a lot
says
of crazy
people
stuff.
get mad about their fandom becoming too mainstream.
Which
But
is silly, because wouldn't you
I
want
think,
more
don't
people
you
to
want
like
it to be mainstream so that more people get exposure to it? Why would that be something that people wouldn't want?
And then you enjoy it with more people.
Yeah, then you have more people. But see, this is what happens. People in fandom get very controlling of their fandom. And they're like, I own it and I've put all this effort into it. But you haven't. You didn't create it. You're just enjoying it. So it should be openly shared with everybody else. Okay, so like the comic book movies and stuff have made the comic books more mainstream. But hey, now I can get a $7.50 comic book T-shirt at Walmart, and I don't have to go to Hot Topic and pay $20 a T-shirt anymore.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have to go to these places and look for these things. It's more readily available, so I can get my fandom stuff like all over the place now. Like I can find Ninja Turtle shirts.
Pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars to get VHSs of anime from Japan.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. I know that people like feel like, oh, I've put the time and effort into it. Like I was a geek longer. You don't own it. Like it doesn't belong to you. You should want it if you really loved it. Haven't you ever heard that old adage? If you love it, you'll set it free. And if it comes back to you, it really loved you. But your fandom can't come back to you. It's always with you. But like you set it free and you let more people love it. Like that's why I was excited when my little kids wanted to play D&D. Like I don't know crud about the rules and I'm terrible about the rules, but I love the role playing and they are so cute because I'm the one that taught them that and they went and read the rules later. Dude, they role play and now that's their excuse. Like if they'll say something that's like super like gross, like you know, they're like doing something really like, you know, killing something or drinking its blood or something. I'm like, guys, we're at school. They're like, miss, we're role playing. So that's become their excuse for any horrible.
Like, do you understand what role playing
We're
is? It's
role-playing.
make believe.
You taught us to use our imagination. They like throw it back at me now. But to me, that's
Which
great.
another
Like,
thing I wanted to point out, you got your award for Educator of the Year.
yeah, I did.
Officially.
Woo.
So yay!
Thank you.
That's a great accomplishment. Out of everybody at your school, you were chosen.
Yeah, and there's a lot of us. There are a lot of teachers at every school, so it was really nice, you know.
And you juggle a lot more than most of them do, so that's even more impressive.
I do.
And Russell
juggle a
said,
lot.
as LOL, I just found it as you were speaking.
Russell, yay! Yeah, thanks, Vince. It was nice. It was nice to be educated. I work really hard. to be honored for being a good educator. It was really cute today. One of my kids, I didn't tell the kids because that's not the kind of person I am, but I didn't tell the kids. And so some of the other teachers told the kids because the same night that I got my award, I created basically like a Comic-Con for the environment. I had like all these booths out and speakers and stuff about like our impact on bees and how to live with snakes and how to turn Texas trees into bonsai trees, and like had all this stuff out. But then I wasn't there. So all my kids were like, well, why isn't Miss Guzman here? So some of the other teachers told them, and then one of my little boys brought me like a mini rose bush today, and he wanted to tell me congratulations for my awards.
Very
it was
cool.
Sweet. So,
Russell, shut up.
what did Russell say?
What's a VHS?
What's a VHS? OMG. Let me get one to throw at him. They hurt.
They hurt.
They do.
DVDs? They
Not
don't
so
hurt.
much. But VHS,
VHS?
they pack a punch.
Put a dent in your head.
Uh-huh.
With just one.
It could totally be a burglar repellent. My VHS collection. Come at me.
So I don't know. I
don't
think
know.
we
Did
should-
Hoodie say why he thought that people were so... Because I've seen people be adamant about not wanting their fandoms to be mainstream. Are they afraid that it's going to get watered down? Or... I mean, but the creators are to some extent going to probably have to eventually pander to make money, right? And that's another thing. You have to realize that the creators have to make money to keep your fandom alive. Like, that's how the world works, right? It works on money. So, does it get watered down sometimes? Yeah, sometimes.
Money makes the world go round.
Because it's round, by the way.
Or is it a magnetic field? I don't remember anymore.
I'm just still stuck on the fact that people think it's
It's
flat
a magnetic
now.
field that makes the Earth go round.
Rock. There's an edge to the world.
There's not a curtain around it of ice that keeps us from... No.
Well, it's like Ghost in the Shell, the new movie coming out for based off the anime. I think people are worried that stuff like that will come out and it's not going to be relatable to their own image of what their anime is about.
It looks really close.
It looks really good,
looks
and I do...
really close.
I do think they do have some valid points about...
Because I used to watch Ghost in the Shell.
But I think they have some valid points about Scarlett Johansson being the actress that they chose. However, they chose her because she has star power. Sometimes you have to choose the stars to get the money. You have to promise the studio. Again, it's money. You have to promise the studio, if you put $1 billion into this movie, I'm going to make you $2 billion in revenue, you know? You have to make those promises. So in order to keep those promises, sometimes you have to throw in the star power.
And
you
he
just
says
do.
they think it's theirs, they don't want to share.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's
and
been
that's
a
a
big
shame, yeah.
problem, because you should want to share because more people can experience it with you.
Yeah, and you never know. Like, you might meet somebody who you become really good friends with who they themselves didn't even realize that they liked this kind of fandom or whatever, and then they start really getting into it and stuff. Like, I don't know. I personally enjoy that stuff, but that's just me. Like, I like that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
Well, we have a really interesting dynamic in our household too, where we like sports and we like video games and board games and TV shows and.
Well, Dad and I really tried to kind of
Raise
diversify you like that,
foster
because
that in
we
y'all.
were raised that way too. So,
I mean, yeah, I was exposed to Star Wars at a young age, and I really took to that. I really enjoyed that, and I think, and Superman, and that's why I'm a big Superman fan. Yay!
and do you love every Superman thing that's ever
I
been
don't.
made?
I
No.
don't. I don't like
And
the
he's
original.
been around for a long time.
Yeah,
and so...
I don't like the original Action Comics. I didn't like the
Yeah,
style.
that's not your thing, so. So my friend sent me this and would like for me to talk about it on the show really quickly. If you go to www.scareforacure, scare like scary, foracure.org. This is at her uncle's, like, he has this haunted It's kind of like a haunted town that he's built up. It is in Manor, Texas, which I think is kind of near Austin-ish. She's taken me out there before, and it's really cool. It is on March 17th and 18th and March 24th and 25th. And it looks like, it's at the J. Lorraine Ghost Town. And
Did anything happen over there?
what happened over there? It made noise.
2 app updates.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Nothing special.
Luckily, I muted those, so y'all shouldn't hear them unless you heard them over our mics.
So it's a medieval action adventure. Sword in your hand, a spell on your lips. Are you ready to save the realm? Battle giant spiders, undead warriors, and confront an ancient evil. Climb, crawl, pick locks, and avoid traps. You may perish in the attempt, but if you survive, glory and gold will be yours. So it looks fun. I haven't had a chance to research it because she just literally just sent it to me now and asked me could I talk to y'all about it, which is great. So it looks like a lot of fun. I've been out to her uncle's ghost town, and it's like it was pouring down rain, and we were out there, but it's like a lot of fun, and he has a lot of buildings.
So it's kind of like that. What is it called? True Dungeon.
Yeah,
And,
that's what it looks like. Yeah.
At Gen Con.
Yeah, and you like interact. It's
But
like
it's
a
like a
haunted
bigger area.
experience.
It's like
interactive.
outside, right?
Yeah, it's outdoors. It's a whole it's a thing. So, yeah.
It's LARPing to the extreme.
Yeah.
Are you talking about our construction fund?
And then the profits are donated to the local cancer charities. They pick a different one, and I don't see which one it is this year, but they pick different ones every year. They've been doing this since 2007. So
Nice.
that's great. And it looks like I was trying to see how much the tickets are, or like where you can make the donations. And I don't see. It's kind of hard. I'm getting old and I can't see on my phone.
But
So well.
there's a ton of stuff that you can geek out over, that you can be in a fandom over. It can be sports, it can be games, it can be cosplay.
But people
it can
don't
be
think it can be
Doctor
sports.
Who. No, people don't think it can be sports, and sports is a game.
Mm-hmm.
Still.
I'm a huge sports fan. Predominantly football. I predominantly enjoy football, but that doesn't make me any less of a
Russell
geek. But
says
people
Ren
think it
Fair
does.
is going on, and I have no friends that want to go with me.
I want to go with you,
Just
Russell.
saying.
I want to go with you,
Just
Russell.
FYI.
It's supposed to be BOGO this year for Sherwood. Buy one get one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I wanted to take Barbie, but now she has strep throat.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah.
I even geek out over art. And if you could show that, because it has green on it, and you can't show it
Oh
over
yeah,
here.
and you can't show it.
I
Let's see if
can't
can
show
reach.
green stuff over here.
Because I know that you're in love with it, and
It's really cool.
can you see that, Zach, on my camera? Can you see the whole piece, or this way? That way? Can you see the whole piece? Okay.
So this was at a art show for Northside, Los Leones, and we were trying to get a copy of it, but it was way too large. So we talked to the art teacher. Hold it up,
Oh,
so
sorry.
people can see it. We talked to the art teacher to see if she could talk to the student that drew this, and this was a freshman high school student
Yes.
that drew this and colored it, and it's very, very awesome, and I totally geeked out about it.
This is all pencil, colored pencil, and pen. That's it. That's the only mediums that he used.
And just looking at that, and just looking at the time it took to create all of that, and I paid him for it. So, but I mean, there's a lot of people that are into like artwork, or comic book artwork, or
We have a lot of artwork.
or mashup artwork, like our buddy Freddie does,
like Logan Mouse.
Like Logan Mouse.
If you saw us live on Facebook, you saw Logan Mouse. So it's Mickey Mouse, as Logan, And he's got the claws out, and he's got the cigar and everything, you know, which is very un-Mickey Mouse-esque. But I love Freddie Lopez's art. He's from here in San Antonio. I have a lot of his pieces. I have like the Breakfast Club, the Star Wars people as the Breakfast Club, and the
Rebel
little
Club?
the the little goblins with the piñata, and I have my original from Dragon
Oh,
Slayer. Yeah,
yeah.
that piece is like
That's really awesome.
for me to die for. And then my dad was an artist and an art teacher. So we have lots of his art. He did art for us for our role-playing game that we created. So we have that all over the house too. And then we have some modern art, and we have found object art, and we have Frida Kahlo, and we have Diego Rivera, and we have some art pieces actually from some of my dad's students when he was a high school art teacher, that we just liked the pieces and they were nice, and it went with what we had. So so we definitely enjoy art as well, and that's something that we both grew up around, though. I mean, you're named after Vincent Van Gogh, so you know, and my dad was an art teacher.
A lot of people don't realize that.
Oh, well, Vincent is named after Vincent Van Gogh, if any of y'all didn't know that, which is probably news to a lot of people, actually, but yeah.
May actually be news to my family members, too.
Oh.
My mom is the one that actually decided on Vincent. Although my grandfather's name is Vincent, too. But I'm not named after him, per se. I was actually named after Vincent Van Gogh because of the song Starry Night. Starry, Starry Night.
Starry, Starry Night. Yeah. So in this household, we really like art. That's the thing.
Russell says
So
we need to go when they have real full contact jousting. I think it's the fourth weekend.
yes, that's
Sorry
my
we threw y'all off topic.
favorite. No,
Yeah,
that's okay.
no.
That's my
Oh
favorite.
man, that was so cool. We got
full
so
contact
much
jousting.
awesome video from that.
Yeah, that
That
was
was
my
really cool.
absolute fave. So I really, really liked that
I
weekend.
mean, they would like slam down on the ground.
That was cool. Yeah, I really like that. I need to pick up my sticks again that I got last year and practice using them again. I need to take it to school because I think some of my students would really like, you know, the dexterity
that's
and
why
stuff
you
that's required.
originally bought it.
I know, and I keep forgetting. I get so overwhelmed by the things I have to teach, I forget to bring the things I want to show them sometimes.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. I don't know that there's any fandom. Like, I started out a long time ago, and because I'm an avid book reader too, so I started out as being one of those, the movie's not the book, like the book, the movie's not like the book, the movie's not like the book. But I really have changed my mindset as far as that, as just realizing, like, the movie is just a different artistic medium than the book. The book is what I get to make it, and I've realized more and more as I get older and I talk to people about books, that for me specifically, the book is very much what I make of it, because I rewrite things in my mind that I don't like.
There's this book. It was called Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? I read that book. I did not like that book at all.
Really?
And then I saw Blade Runner,
And now he's obsessed.
which Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep was renamed to Blade Runner.
They were like, that title's too long. Blade Runner.
Blade Runner. So, no. I totally dug the movie, and I totally hated the book. And I hated the characters in the book.
Really?
Yeah. I hated Deckard in the book. I hated him.
Really?
Yeah, didn't like him at all.
You said he was kind of a wuss in the book, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now I feel like I need to watch the movie again, because I'm really bad. Like, I don't even remember Blade Runner. I remember parts of it. I
you
remember
don't-
kind of Daryl Hannah.
Because you're like this.
I didn't have a cell phone when I saw it the first time with you. Didn't have a cell phone.
It's a really good movie.
I was probably reading a book or something, though.
Probably.
I was like,
But it
this-
wasn't Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep.
But every time I talk about movies that you really like, either like a producer or one of our show producers or one of our friends is over, and they always try to kick me out of my own house.
Get out of here.
When I was talking
wrong
about,
with you?
I was talking about Blade Runner when Carl was over last week. Y'all met Carl on the show last week. So he and Vince are like totally in love with Blade Runner. Blade Runner, Blade Runner, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I thought it was kind of boring. Carl's like, get out. Get out of your own house. Or then when Vincent and Al, who used to be the producer, and they would be like, oh, Big Trouble in Little China or whatever, I'm like, that movie's lame. Or anything with stupid what's-his-face in it.
And I still cringe when you say that.
What's his name? He thinks he's funny. My name isn't Shirley. Shirley, what's his name?
Oh, yeah. Leslie Nielsen.
Leslie Nielsen. Y'all love all of those stupid movies. I'm like,
Yeah.
those are lame. I was like, get out. We can't be friends. Get out of your own house.
It was just the humor in it and the play on things that they would do
I didn't think it was funny. It's just dumb.
that you wouldn't ordinarily think it was funny if it was just said, but because they said it in the way that they did, it was funny.
I think because I didn't see them before I met you, and you are very much like that, and you say all kinds of stupid stuff all the time, and then I'm like, yeah, it's funny. Oh yeah, you're hilarious. Like, I'm over it. So then by the time I get to
still
see,
get you. You
every
still think I'm funny.
once in a while,
It's more than every once in a while.
Sometimes you're funny. Every once in a while. But I don't know. I'm around that humor like all the time. So sometimes it's just like, I get it. It's funny. It's a pun or whatever. Or like my friend John loves Monty Python. Loves Monty Python. Loves Monty Python. Holy Grail, Holy Grail. He used to quote Holy Grail all the time.
Thomas says, hello, came in late. I like
Hello.
Blade Runner, but I need to be in the right mood for it.
I'm going to have to watch it before we watch the new
Maybe
one
you-
to like...
Yeah. Because we want to see, what is it,
49.
2049? Blade Runner 2049?
Yeah.
Puns are cool.
Puns are not
Thomas
cool.
says, puns are cool.
Thomas, stop encouraging him. All of y'all need to get off the
Like, our
Leslie Nielsen-
producer posted something, it was... Somebody got arrested for overcharging a cell phone. So he just went on this entire pun thing that he was charged with such and such.
Oh my
and-
god, no. Zach's over here like stone cold, straight face.
You had to be there.
You had to
You had
be
to
there.
read it. You had to read it. It was funny.
It's funny.
I was like, ha ha! I see what you did there, Chris. That's funny.
For your crimes, it's punishable by death. Punishable by death.
Your pun is punishable? No.
By death.
Punish.
Punished. So and then like one of the other things, I know people don't like, we were talking about all the comic book movies and stuff, and I actually came into like comic books kind of backwards, I guess, because I originally growing up, I was like a super like cartoon hound, like a cartoon hound, and I loved the X-Men cartoon. Loved it, loved that cartoon.
And you watch it now, and it's
so
lame.
horrible. It's so awful.
bad.
But I loved.
But
to
it
me,
looked
it
cool
was like
back then.
the best freaking cartoon ever, man. I loved that freaking cartoon. I love that cartoon. I love G.I. Joe. I love Transformers, and then of course I love like the Smurfs and the Snorks and Snorkels and whatever they were called, and then the Gummy Bears. Gummy Bears. But those were other things. But I really, really liked those.
The
And
movie
so then,
History of the World was a really great movie. I wish they
Monty Python.
made stuff like that.
I laugh a little bit. I like the whole like the coconuts.
Oh, with
The Holy Grail. Yeah. But I watched those cartoons and then like went backwards, and then I had friends that were very much into comic books. So then I read some of the comic books. I read like the Jubilee Wolverine storyline like stood out to me because I was a young girl at the time, and I liked this guy who was an older guy, like much older, like almost twice my age older. And so I don't know. I think that storyline stuck with me because I was like, oh, Jubilee like loves Wolverine or whatever, and so I don't know. I remember some of those things like that. I think because they connect to things that you're feeling about or whatever.
You know what I'm feeling about Logan now that you were talking about Wolverine? So, Logan, we just saw Logan recently. And it was last week.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was really good.
It broke my heart. It literally broke my heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I heard a lot of people say that they teared up during that movie.
Yeah, a lot of people were like, there was dust in the theater.
And just to let y'all know, if you haven't seen it, there isn't after scene credit.
Yeah.
I wish people would like say that more. There
Yeah,
isn't.
like
But I don't think there could be.
There
one.
isn't because there's no tie
There
together, and
shouldn't.
that's what they said. There's no tie to this to anything else in the universe. What's done here is done.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean,
Um,
it takes away from what happened, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're just
So
kind of...
we don't really want to. Well, you got to see the movie.
Well, if you haven't seen the movie, you should probably la so that we can talk about it. Because I'm tired of like not talking about things that I want to talk about. So.
Yeah.
So first of all, let's talk about the little girl.
So when we're done, I'll go like this.
So you know we're done.
So when we're done.
Everybody's just going on and on and on and about the little girl that played Wolverine's daughter.
Yeah.
On and on and on and on. And she was pretty good. And let me tell you, I loved hearing her speak Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
Just, she went off on him, and it was so wonderful. And she was great. I really liked her, but for me, it's still about him. Like, for me, Hugh Jackman has always been Wolverine. I think because I grew up with that comic, and I have that cartoon version of him in my head, that Hugh Jackman is gonna be hard to replace as Wolverine if they ever try to do it.
Thomas says Team America sign. Yes, it is the Team America sign. Thanks for pointing that out. So, go ahead.
So for me, the movie was still about Logan. I know a lot of people were all about the little girl, and she was great, and I loved her ferocity, and you know when she was going in her berserker phase and everything, and just like kicking people's ass, like you know, she was great. But for me, it was about him. It was about watching him, and I think because I'm over that 40-year-old hump, and I start like I've been telling people like I'm gonna be 50. I mean, yes, it's gonna be in 7 years, but I'm gonna be 50, and so I'm seeing kind of the other side of that coin, and to see him aging, and to see Patrick Stewart just so old and so feeble, and for Wolverine to be caring for him, where we're almost in that stage of our lives where we have parents that we may have to soon care for, you know. I think maybe that resonated with me even more just because of the stage of life that we're in.
Yeah.
But yeah, that really hit me. And then to see Professor X, like, you know, having those seizures and stuff, like having to take old man medicine, and it was a lot. I think it was a lot, and I wonder if it wasn't almost kind of targeted towards our demographic, because we can relate to those things, and so it does kind of pull at us more. I don't know, what did you think?
I think so. I mean, they're going to make movies that are going to appeal to our generation because we're the generation that has the money to spend.
Right.
And
well, and Old Man Logan is a comic too.
Yes,
So it was a comic before they turned this into a movie. So it
I don't
is
think
a
it
comic.
happened exactly like that.
I don't think so, because that's not one of the comics I've ever read. So I don't know what the series is like. But it's like.
But if you know anything about Wolverine, you should know what happens.
Okay.
During.
Have any of y'all ever seen the movie The Champ? Did you see the movie The Champ with Ricky Schroeder? When Rick Schroeder was like a little boy, and his dad's the boxer, and his dad gets killed in the ring boxing, and he's there like crying over his dead dad. That movie killed me, and I was very young when I saw that movie. That movie like tore me up on the inside. That's what this movie did to me. Just like, here's all these little kids, and I have a very soft spot, you know, in my heart for little kids. here's this little girl who's been an experiment, and we've been like, Stranger Things has already pushed us to have feelings for these little kids that are experiments, right? So we're off the cusp of this Stranger Things high of like, little kids are experiments. I don't think so, right? So then we have these little poor little mutant kids, and they've been experiments, and there's like no more mutants out there to take care of them or whatever. And then this little mutant girl, she finds her daddy, and he's, you know, that rough old man who doesn't love you, kind of like, it's very atypical storyline stuff, right? But it's Wolverine, and you love him, and you know that he's a jerk, and then you know that his kid is gonna have to come to love him, and she does, and then they have this connection, and then he gives his life for her, you know, and you're like, I can't breathe, my heart. And then you know, when Charles dies, and he's old and feeble, and you kind of want him to almost, because he's like, he's going to kill everybody on the planet.
The story kind of made me. There's one aspect of the story of the movie that I didn't like, and that was why. Why was he not healing? And why was he growing older?
Because the adamantium is poisoning him. He alludes to the fact that the adamantium is poisoning him.
He just says, I know why, but he didn't explain it.
He kind of alludes to it. He infers it, that it's the adamantium, but he doesn't specifically say it. They don't ever specifically tell you why he's no longer able to heal.
Yeah.
I thought it's because they took his healing factor away to heal the other old Asian dude in the suit of armor.
Yeah, but he came back right when they took the thing out. And then there was a movie after that in the future. So I don't know. But this is like further in the future. That aspect I wish they would have explained more.
I do too. I was a little frustrated, but it didn't.
Maybe the director's cut. It didn't take away from it, but I would have enjoyed it more, I think, if I knew why. Exactly why. And because if the adamantium was what was poisoning him, well, why hasn't he been like this the entire time? That was my problem with it.
Like, maybe over the years it just seeped and seeped. I don't know.
But he has, you know, regenerative powers.
I know. I didn't.
Not just healing, regenerative.
I know. I didn't get it. I didn't know why. I mean, he's been like, you know, with the rebar through him at the bottom of the lake. Like, I don't know. Which I think maybe some people were hoping, like, you would see a claw come out, like, at the very end, like, after credits scene, and a claw comes out of the rocks. But no, like, he's done. Like, he's done.
It's not like Superman. It's not like
it's not like
Batman
Superman.
versus Superman.
Yeah. So I don't know. Even though the storyline is, you know, very atypical, it's what you're expecting, right? But there's something about, if you have that attachment to Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, if you have that attachment to Patrick Stewart as Charles Xavier, which I do, I find both of them to be, you know, remarkable.
Because the cool thing about it, he did it so well, is the limping around that he did, just to show, you know, his age.
Yeah, and Patrick Stewart looks so feeble. Like, he did such a good, like, he looked super feeble. He did such a good job. Like, they both did. They did such a good job looking feeble. You know, and then it kind of shows you that passing of the torch, because the little one, she's so ferocious, you know. She's so full of life and fierce.
Russell says, love you guys, but I have a call. I have to meet some beer and barbecue.
Yeah. I was like, he has to meet beer, because I knew that was
beer and barbecue. Gotta go.
Bye, Russell.
Thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. But what else I was going to talk about that?
I don't know.
His daughter's name?
Laura?
X-23.
X-23 is her name?
Yeah.
Oh, she's X-23, yeah.
Yeah. And she's also more powerful than Wolverine.
Well, yeah, because she has the feet claws, too.
And not only that, but she's only got 2, which 3 might seem like it's stronger, but 2 requires less area coverage, which means it can slice through larger targets and slice deeper. So she's just all around stronger, which is kind of cool. Plus, she's my favorite character in Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Oh, really?
which is a video game.
Nice. I didn't even know she was in that game. Oh, that's great. Oh, I did like the Wolverine, like, super soldier guy, though, too. He was, like scary and
Yeah.
creepy and, like, just very, you know, feral, and it was pretty good. Yeah. It was pretty impressive. I thought the whole movie was impressive. I was
Yeah.
really impressed.
Yeah,
I was
it
impressed
was
with the
really good.
action scenes. I was impressed with the non-action scenes. Because sometimes when you go to an action-esque movie, one of the other lacks, right?
Oh, and this is not a kids movie. Just to let you know,
Yeah, totally no.
it is rated R, and it's rated R for a reason.
Yeah.
You have Professor Xavier cussing in that movie. Bad,
Yeah.
really bad.
He's an old man. He gets to now. He's an angry old man who's been locked up in a tank out in the desert. So, but yeah, I loved it. I thought it was a great movie. I think, you know, if you love the series, if you love the characters, you should go and watch it. You'll really like it if you haven't already. Hopefully you have, because we just spoiled it all. All right, now you want to do your
'Cause
Team America?
It was a lot of fun. So there we go. There's your cue for we're not talking about it anymore.
So really quickly before we go, because we only have a couple of more minutes until it's been an hour. Walking Dead. We didn't really get to talk about Eugene, like flip-flopping over to the other side and like being very happy with his new role. Do you think that?
And then playing Easy Street on there because it really was Easy Street.
Yeah. But I'm like, part of me wants to believe that he's just pretending so that he can like get intel and get into the inner circle, but I'm lying to myself, right?
He's there to protect himself like he's always been.
Yeah.
He's always been that way. But he's like,
That's what I was afraid of.
he would be the most valuable person in this apocalypse because he can make bullets.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, if you can.
And that's why they're treating him like this, because he's valuable.
Right, and now he knows it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he's going to be able to get away with a lot of stuff.
I'm hoping they can exploit it in the future. I don't know. I thought the scene with Rick and Michonne in the
Yeah, Thomas says Eugene's a wily dude. He's saving his own skin.
yeah, that's what I was afraid of, Thomas. I really wanted to
Yeah,
believe
and
better.
he can do all sorts of stuff too.
Yeah, yeah,
Just because he
he's-
reads a lot, and he has like a whole library too.
Well, now, yeah.
There.
And I really liked the Rick and Michonne scene where she thought that the walkers had Rick.
Yeah.
I
I figured they were gonna do something like
Man,
that.
I thought they were gonna Romeo and Juliet that scene, man. I thought for sure. I was like, holy crap, are we gonna lose like two main characters right now? I was like, please don't Romeo and Juliet. Please don't Romeo and Juliet. Please don't Romeo and Juliet. Like, I was just like, I was kind of freaking out because they kind of let us sweat for a little bit. They
Yeah.
alluded to the fact that
They like doing that.
yeah, I love that they like doing that. That's like one of my favorite things about this show is it like makes you sweat, right?
Thomas says, always suck up to the MacGyver dude
He's the
with
one.
the mullet.
Yep, MacGyver with the mullet. You know, that was one of the only Talking Deads I watched was with him because I wanted to see like what he sounded like in real life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because it's like when I watched Archie from Riverdale the other day and he's like Australian or something and it blows your
Yeah.
mind. So I always watch now because I think that these people that are Americans don't really end up being American. Like they've just practiced to sound like they're American.
Yeah.
So
And I really, well, when you're talking about Riverdale, I really like in Riverdale how it's not all about Archie.
yeah.
I like that.
I totally love the beginning of this last episode where they
Yes.
started it like Archie comic style and Jughead was in his old school hat and everything.
And it's a nightmare for
And then Archie
Jughead.
has on his little R sweater like he does in the comics and stuff. I was like, yes. Yes, I love it. Oh my god, and I'm gonna totally flip out because I think next week is the singing Flash episode.
Yeah.
I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I love it when they sing. On
No,
the
no, no. It's not. It's the week after.
I want to see it. Okay, well, I'll wait a little bit longer. I love it.
But it's gonna be cool. It's going to be the two Glee characters.
The Glee kids are gonna be singing because they're Supergirl and the Flash. So it's gonna be super awesome. Well, I think we've talked everybody's ear off enough tonight.
That's gonna be good. What else have we been watching? Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. hasn't come back yet.
Which I'm fine with.
You were starting to like it.
It was okay.
You were starting to like it.
I'm on again, off again too with the other one, the Legends of Tomorrow.
Legends Tomorrow.
Arrow. Sometimes Arrow bores me. Sometimes I like Arrow. So those three I'm on again, off again. Bones. I'm really like not wanting Bones to end because this is it.
Yeah.
Like, this is it for Bones. The end. And it's like, no, please come back. I don't want you to. You get so attached to these shows and these storylines and these characters, and you just don't want them to ever.
But I don't think these they want to get typecast, which I think.
I mean, I don't see how David Boreanaz can't. Well, I guess he could because in my mind he's always gonna be Angel.
Yeah.
Like for me, he's Angel, you know. But I don't see him that way anymore. It took me a little while at the beginning, but now he's Booth. He's Booth. But he could slip for me. He could slip very easily back into Angel. So maybe bring it back. Bring back Angel and Buffy. I'll take Buffy back too. I totes would. Yeah. I'd take Willow and all of them. But Xander is like apparently an alcoholic, and he's always
Isn't he
like
in jail or something.
Yeah, he's always in prison and like screwing up appearances and stuff. Like he's a hot mess. So that's a shame. It's a shame that people go that way.
Oh, and what's his name too? The redhead. What's his name? Seth Green.
Oh,
Seth
yeah,
Green.
yeah.
Because he was the werewolf.
Yeah, he's kind of big time as far as like animated series and stuff go nowadays. So yeah. They'd probably
So
make him.
I don't know. We talked about embracing other fandoms. So if you haven't done that, you should do that. Embrace other fandoms. If you don't watch anime, talk to some anime people. Maybe they can introduce you to some stuff, or maybe we suggested some stuff that you might want to take a look at. What was that called? One
Punch Man?
No
Game No Life.
No Game No Life.
A Game No Life. And what was the other one you watched? I forgot. It was weird. Sword Art Online?
Oh, Sword Art Online. That was pretty good. What was the other one with the with L?
Oh, was in Stranger Things. That wasn't anime.
No, L.
Oh, Death Note.
Death
You're
Note.
talking about Death Note.
Death Note.
Death Note was good.
That's a good one. I still haven't finished it.
Zach doesn't like.
It's a lot of.
I only love Death Note because of the PPAP song. PPAP. So yeah, we talked about embracing fandom. And what else?
And we talked about Logan.
We did.
And we talked
And we
about
spoiled
the
the
shows
heck out of that.
We watched.
Yep. We talked about all those
And
things.
K-Icon is going on tomorrow. There's also the Alamo City Toy Fair going on. Is that happening this week again?
I don't know.
Or
Oh,
not?
Scare for a Cure.
Scare
Sherwood.
for a Cure.
Sherwood Forest Renaissance Festival.
Yeah.
So those are going on. So lots of things. We'll try to find out more and post them up on the Facebook page. So follow us on Facebook too, and that's how you get our information.
So thanks for checking us out. If you haven't liked us on Facebook, like us on Facebook. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to us, please subscribe to us. And like us on Twitch. If you want to check us out.
And do whatever
more.
you do on Hitbox.
And do whatever you do on Hitbox. But thanks for checking us out. Really happy you came to watch us for another week. I'm Vince.
I'm Colleen, and thanks to Zach for filling in.
Geek out, SA.